Welcome back, everyone. Phoenix 3 here. And one thing I did want to talk about that I really don't see any talk about as much is support Pokemon. Now, on the official Pokken Tournament website, they haven't updated the support pages with anything. There's still Emoga, Fennekin, Snivy, Lapras, Frogadier, and Eevee. They don't have Miss Magius and Ninetales up, and they also don't have Jirachi or Whimsicott on the page as well. But one thing that still perplexes me is how that support system works. Now, I've seen it in action in the game, but they have everything broken down into support sets. And that's about as much as the mechanic that we actually know, or at least that I know. Like I said, I haven't seen any information on the actual support mechanic in terms of how you get to choose your Pokemon for a battle. A lot of people talk about which Pokemon they want to see in support. I really don't care what makes it to support. I really only care uh, how the actual main roster is going to be. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to talk about support. What I would like to see done on this, since this game selection screen seems to be a lot like Naruto or the Tekken selection screen. When you're playing Wi-Fi or online, or you're playing against someone else who's on a different machine, you have your own selection screen. It's not like Mortal Kombat where both players use the exact same selection screen and you get to see what character your opponent is picking and they can pick on you from there. Um, what I want to see, since this game you just have hidden select when you're playing against somebody else that's not on the same machine, I want to see them have a second page where you get to select what support Pokemon you want. If this support system is open for change, it'd be nice if they still keep the support set, but make it in such a way to where you can choose what Pokemon you want on that support set, and then you use that support set for the duration of the battle. Basically, if I want to use, let's just say for example for this video, Eevee and Miss Magius, I should be able to select those Pokemon freely and put them on my support set for that match. Maybe they could even give you a couple choices of sets that you use for the match, and you can only choose from those Pokemon. But I think it'd be better to allow people to have two choices of support Pokemon, and they put them on a set, and they can only choose from those two in that match. Kind of like how it is now, but instead of you being forced to pick the Emoga Snivy set, the Emoga Finnegan set, the Snivy Lapras set, or the Frogadier Eevee set, you can choose two Pokemon out of like a possible 20 on the selection screen from the support select screen. And you could choose, like I said before, Eevee or Miss Magius, or you can go Lapras, Frogadier, Snivy, Eevee. Basically, you choose what two Pokemon you want to have on your support set for the duration of that battle. I don't know if that's something that they're working on or if that's something that just kind of went over their head, because I kind of do feel that the sets that they have here are restrictive. Like I said, this game here isn't on console yet. This game is on arcade, so they're still making changes and stuff like that to the game. But this here is something that I really think should be more up to the players, because I wouldn't want to have to choose from this selection screen. Like in any of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, you could choose your partner. And then the Naruto Storm games, you can choose which characters you want on support. You're not restricted to just, you know, a certain set that you can use. And I kind of want this game to be the same way. Like, I really don't like the idea of support Pokemon being purely there for support. It'd be much better if you could choose a Pokemon from the actual existing roster and have them on support. But obviously, they want to try to represent as many Pokemon as possible that participate in the fight, and some just wouldn't be interesting otherwise. Like Lapras, for example, would not be interesting as a fighter, so it could be on for support. But it'd be nice if you could have the option to choose a Pokemon from the actual roster and put them on support as well. Like I said at the beginning, no one is really talking about how the support system should be handled, and I think the support system should be handled in the way I just suggested. Basically, after you choose which Pokemon that you want to use for the fight, it takes you to a second screen where you got like 20 seconds or something to where you choose two Pokemon that you're going to use on your support set. And then you use that support set for the duration of your battle. And then once you go back to the character selection screen, you can re-choose your characters or your support Pokemon again. Of course, there'll be rules in place that other tournaments have. The person that won the match can't change their Pokemon or their support set, but the person that lost could change who they want to use in the fight next, and they could re-select support Pokemon to better adjust for the fight for their opponent. I just don't think, I don't know if it's going to be permanent the way it is if you have to use the support sets that they say you have to use. I just think that's way too restrictive for a fighting game. It'd be nice if you can mix and match, how you want your supports to be. Because based on what I've seen so far, my support would probably be something like Eevee and Finnegan. Because I am more of a player that likes to have defensive options available to me rather than offensive options. I mean, offensive options are still good sometimes, but Eevee gives an attack boost and restores some health, which is a pretty nice thing in a fighting game, for example. And um, the burst option that you have also restores a little bit of health. I think I even saw a match where Weavile was consistently gaining like one health like every second. I don't know what caused that. But I like having options where I could restore my health. And Fennekin is an attack, but it keeps an opponent off of you. So if an opponent is trying to pressure me, I can simply call it out, and Fennekin knocks him off. So it'd be nice to have those options available to me because against a player that wants to turtle, I can use Eevee as an option to increase my offense a little bit and give me health back. So while I'm pressuring my opponent, I am gaining resources. And for an opponent who's overly aggressive, I can use Fennekin, for example, to keep him out. Emoga is also pretty nice because I could slow my opponent down, which means I have more time to counter them. But until the game really comes to console, I'm really not going to know what any of these Pokemon do in terms of like mechanics, because I don't know how long Emoga is going to keep the opponent suppressed. Like I think I heard Emoga got a buff actually. Oh no, I think Emoga got a nerf and Machamp got a buff in terms of altering speed of an opponent. But that's basically what I want to see for the support system. Because the way the support system is now, I mean, it doesn't really feel like it's really allowing a player to adapt. Because, like I said, I am more of a defensive player, so I would like to have defensive options against me. Some people are offensive, and some people would love to have more offensive options available to them. So when you saw the Pokken Tournament um, invitationals that they had at Worlds like a couple of months ago, the most popular set was Set C, which had Frogadier and Eevee in it. But rather than forcing a player to use a certain set, they would have had the option to choose Frogadier and maybe some other support Pokemon that they wanted. So hopefully, if they see this video or somebody can get it to them, they could look at the support system and maybe implement that, make it to where you could choose a Pokemon you want on your set. Just eliminate the whole support system that they have now in terms of how you get to choose what Pokemon that you want on it, and let the player choose what Pokemon they want on their sets. Give them an option of one set for the game if they don't have anything like amiibos or the cards that you can use. So that way they can choose a Pokemon that they want. because I really want this game to be more customizable in terms of play styles. And I do think the support system is going to be here to stay. I am glad to see the support system in the game. I mean, this here isn't the type of traditional Pokemon battle that I would have thought I would ever see. But I mean, this here is kind of like a staple in Circle Fighters. You know, you have a support system where a character comes in and does an attack and leaves, and you do it again. But I really want to see them fix this system here, because I really want this game to be the best it can be. And like I said at the beginning, you know, this support system might not be final, but basically what I want to see is the support system that I said for this video. So I want to hear what you guys think about it. Like, how do you think they should handle the support system? Because obviously it's good the way it is, but in terms of how you get to choose what Pokemon you want on your support team, I feel that should be up to the player and not the developers of the game. So if you guys got any comments about this, I'll leave that down below. Um, I guess share this with your friends. You know, I want to raise awareness for this game, so that way the community, at least here in America, can voice their concerns about the game. Because as it is now, I feel the Asian community has too much influence on this game in terms of how the final product is going to look. And you know, Pokemon is a global force, so I feel the entire world should have some input on how this game's development turns out. So be sure to share this with your friends. You know, I want everyone to be able to see it. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching my video. So I hope to see you all in the next one.